a live-action adaptation means complete death for a series, but Netflix's One Piece is playing out a little differently this time. Netflix live-action One Piece showrunner says the most important lesson he learned from the series creator Akira Oda was that getting too far away from the source material was not going to be good in any way. We've been saying that for years. They're just now figuring it out. Like, literally just now. But I'm going to get into this article, but before we do, guys, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. So let's go ahead and get into the article, because there's a little ray of hope for this series. In continuing what appears to be a running trend amongst those who have worked on the show, Netflix's live-action One Piece co-showrunner Steve Maeda has revealed that thanks to working alongside the series' original creator in developing the series, he was able to understand that getting too far away from the source material was not going to be good in any way. Yes, that is the main complaint of any live-action remake that they've done, is it's not close to the source material and it sucks. And they always end up being complete failures that nobody wants to see. Maeda reflected on his time working alongside the legendary mangaka while giving an interview, which since has been either deleted or hidden, as it is now only accessible via Google Cache archive of its original URL, to an uncredited Screen Rant contributor in promotion of the live-action adaptation's upcoming premiere, making reference to Maeda and his co-showrunner Matt Owen's previous revelation that anything new to the series had to be discussed very intensively. The unknown contributor first broached the topic of the former's collaboration with the series creator by asking whether or not there is something that Oda-sensei initially was not happy about, but you fought for it because you believed it was good and the show needed it, and ultimately you were able to persuade him. I hate when they do this. Please, 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 just please, on infinite repeat, can we add this? Like, no. In turn, Maeda revealed there were a couple of things that took some persuading, and if there was something that Oda was really, really unhappy with, we found a way to change it. So at least they're changing stuff to go back to the source material. That gives me a little ray of hope. But there are some things we tried and got into the show that initially he was a little gun-shy about. Of those was we've structurally moved a couple things up that didn't happen until much later chapters. And one of them, for example, was bringing up Garp as a more present character in the first 8 episodes, bringing in Kobe, bringing Helmeppo, and having that Marine pursuit be present and on the Straw Hat's tail almost from the get-go from episode 2. So they changed the timeline a little bit and made it more action-packed, which is good because we have something that's almost 800 episodes now. You kind of need to bump up the timeline to keep people interested and have less filler. It was a big change, and I thought it was something that we really needed in order to keep the stakes up and let it feel like it wasn't just a fun adventure where we were meeting different antagonists and different villains and pirates, but there was an actual kind of organized presence and fearsome presence that was behind Luffy and pursuing. Okay, this change I understand. Like, that's completely understandable. Hey, you've got these bad guys. We kind of need to introduce them, not wait, 500 episodes in before any sort of action starts. Like, I get it. So they go on to say that they sped up the introduction of the Arlong Park chapters, introducing more of the characters that showed up later. But they also go on to say they shared at least one idea that Oda absolutely shut down. And they wouldn't quite say what it was. There was definitely some things that we couldn't do, and we were okay with most of those things. For example, one of the big mandates was no changing the backstory of how someone got a devil fruit and the powers of the devil fruit. Why were you going to change that in the first place? Really, why were you going to change that at all? We don't want to introduce new devil fruits. We don't want to change things that are canon. We were always talking about canon, about how to do fan service. Definitely the devil fruit stuff. Definitely keeping backstories as pure as possible. Wait, that's contradictory. So you wanted to change the backstory, but you were told no, but then you're saying you were never going to change it at all. Oh, they were going to ruin this so bad. And I would say it was really a process because we did several different versions of the story before we started writing it. Certainly before we started shooting, some of which were a little further away from the manga, and some of which were much closer. We ended up, I think, doing the right version of the show, which was a really nice high budget version that was very faithful to the manga without being one-to-one copy. Because if you're doing one-to-one copy, then what's the point? I get that part. That's understandable. Like you're not going to get away with making a 1,000 episode show and have it do any good. Nami still looks like absolute trash. They need to recast her, reshoot it all. Yeah, and here's exactly what I mean. She does not look like Nami at all. Get rid of her. You want to stay faithful and do fan service. Hire someone else. So continuing the article, turning to address the elephant in the room, Screen Rant's representative would then raise the specter of Netflix's abominable takes on both Cowboy Bebop and Death Note. Yeah, those things were terrible. Full Metal Alchemist wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Inquiring as to what lessons, if any, Maeda had learned from those productions' objective failures. Yeah, absolutely, they were failures. Yeah, I think the whole thing that there has never been a successful anime adaptation is a little overblown. It's not. It's absolutely factual. What are you talking about? It's true, and yet at the same time, those were all different people who were working on their own shows. It really wasn't the same group failing again and again and again. Nope. If the same group they keep making the same mistakes. If people are making the same mistakes, there's a problem. It doesn't matter how many different people they are. If you do the same thing, if you're at a job and you have 5 people and they're all making the same mistakes, they get fired. All 5 of them. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5. 5. And then you hire people that can do it. So he goes on to say, I think we just had to have the courage to say, hey, you know what? This one's going to be different. And if we pay the right amount of attention to the fan base and keeping those Easter egg moments alive and really giving people a lot of texture of the One Piece manga and some of the anime, then we will be forgiven for the new stuff that's added. And I certainly hope that's the case. I do too. I really do. But with everything I'm hearing, it's not your choice that you're doing that. You didn't want to do that. You have literally contradicted yourself in reading your statements. This show is going to be good in spite of you, not because of you. But guys, that's going to be it for this episode. I wanted a little ray of sunshine here. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you watch this show, if you watch the anime at all, if you're going to watch this show, let me know. And while you're there, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video out. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. But remember, be easy like sleazy.